In this video, I'll cover 7 key points to help you lose weight, whether it's your first few kilos or reaching your dream shape. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, here's another fitness guru who's going to talk to me. Please listen to my story. You won't regret it. I'm Martin Herbina, and on social media I motivate and inspire hundreds of thousands to improve daily. It wasn't always like that. When I was younger, I struggled with being severely overweight, even obese. And I was always the type of person you can imagine. I'll never lose weight, I have a slow metabolism, a bad metabolism, others have it easier, I don't even eat that much. And if you see yourself in any of this, believe me, it's in your own hands and you can change it. This video covers exactly that. I'd appreciate it if you watch until the end and share it with someone who needs it. Let's begin. Point 1. You have to want it. That means you truly have to want it. Not just saying, yeah, it'd be nice to lose 2 kilos or finally see my abs and so on. I'm talking about something completely different. When I was changing, I was ashamed of how I looked every single day. And every time I saw myself in the mirror, I told myself that I just couldn't leave it like that. Or take that idea, I tell that to a lot of people, it's a good point. Imagine you're in a phase where you've gained weight or can't seem to lose it. Maybe you have to let it go even further before you realize that you really have to change it, because at that time I was just obese. And imagine that you gain another 20 kilos. Imagine that you gain another 30 kilos. Think about how you'll look, and that's really how you'll end up if you don't change something. And for me, that's really nice. And if right now you don't want it that much and you're not able to sacrifice your comfort for it, or give up that chocolate in the evening or the foods you like, if you're not able to prepare healthy meals because of it, then accept that this is how it will turn out anyway. And maybe when you have those 20 or 30 extra kilos, you'll realize it and say to yourself, this is really too much. And that's the point when you'll start to change it, but you just have to want it. Consider if you genuinely want it and if losing weight matters to you, because otherwise you'll quit at the first sign of discomfort. But if you do, then today I'll really try to give you all the tips, tricks and advice that helped me. And thanks to them, I actually managed to do it, and now I can maintain it in a sustainable way. It's not like I just lost weight and then gained it all back again. That's why being in shape is valuable. If everyone was, it wouldn't be. But the fact that you deserve it, that you work hard for it, that you'll know you had to make sacrifices to lose weight, that's what gives it so much value. And that's why it gives you such confidence and why everyone talks about how losing weight changed their life and so on. Absolutely, you feel totally different. You don't go outside anymore like I did as a kid, knowing everyone is laughing at you. You know, those girls are saying, yeah, he's pretty cool, he's funny, but he's fat. You know, and when you realize that, that's the pain that makes you want to change it. The pain in that present moment has to be greater than the pain of change for you to be able to change and lose weight. And this is the first thing in your mindset, the awareness you need to have if you want it enough. I had several moments of realization when I saw something, and at that moment I realized what I actually wanted. I remember once watching the movie Creed. It's a movie about boxing, and it's about a hero who looks absolutely incredible. He has a match there that he loses, then he comes back and wins. He's a total hero. The movie has everything it should have to entertain you. When I watch movies like that and Creed is on, I always wish I could be one of those people and have a story like that in my own real life. And I wanted to go, change it, and in the end actually win, so it would end with a happy ending. And it's actually really great to realize that you really have it in your own hands. A happy ending awaits you beyond sacrifice and hard work, but achieving it is entirely your choice. And those are the things that really motivate me when I go to a movie like that and promise myself that I want that story to happen in my own life too. Point number 2, and now we're going to get much more practical. You have to count your calories, or rather you have to know how many calories you're eating. I'm not saying you have to write down every meal, but I would recommend it. I logged my meals for dozens, even 100 days in a row in calorie tracking apps, just so I could keep track. I had no idea what all had calories. When I was a kid, I could eat a really big lunch like spaghetti with cheese sauce, by the way. And then I would have those golden wafers. I remember it exactly. I would watch some video on YouTube, and back then I used to play the football game Fédération Internationale de Football Association while eating them. And I would stuff myself with those golden wafers. That was about 150 grams of those cookies. I ate it all at once. That has roughly 750 calories, and the lunch could have had 1000. And I had 1750 calories, and I considered that a normal lunch, you know what I mean. At that time, my basal was 1750. Basically what I was supposed to eat in a whole day, I ate during lunch. Then I was surprised, oh my god, that I was gaining weight and I didn't understand why. First, you need to know what and how much you eat. Or losing weight is tough. People often say, I hardly eat anything, or I don't eat that much. But those almonds you have in the evening while watching television, or the oil your mom pours on the meat, or the oil you pour yourself, or the butter, it adds unnoticed calories. That sweet drink. People who drink sweet cola and sugary drinks, oh my god, most people have absolutely no idea how many calories are in that. When you realize it, I'm not saying calories are evil or you can't have unhealthy food. That's not sustainable. You can have it. Knowing this, when choosing between regular and sugar-free cola, you'll pick the sugar-free since regular cola is like a whole extra meal, especially if you drink half a liter. Yeah, it has sweeteners, but we all know it's better than regular sugary cola. And there are so many things like that, and when you start measuring them, when you start writing them down, then you'll have that estimate. Now I have an internal calculator. I can estimate calories in food almost exactly. I don't always know how much oil or sauce restaurants use, but you notice high-calorie foods like fried items and start avoiding them, thinking it's not worth it. And I still have that tendency to overeat and that craving for treats. Of course I still have them, but now I evaluate which treat is the most worthwhile. For example, I'll have these Chio Kentucky fried chicken chips. That's our favorite treat with my girlfriend right now in the evening when we're watching something. I'll have it, I admit. It has 330 calories. Split between us, that's 165 each, no big deal. But that's way different than if we each had an extra 1000 calories in treats every night, right? It's a big difference over time. You can have what you want, even lose weight eating donuts if you eat few enough calories. But first, you must know how much you're eating and how much you can have. Point number 3, commitment or responsibility, and for a lot of people, that's completely unimaginable, but it works absolutely perfectly. I remember how many times I used this in my work. You start creating content for social media, you get to maybe 1200, 1300 followers. That was my case, and I thought, man, if I make a video saying I'm really going to do something, like with cold exposure, that's how it was for me. That was intense. And I told those people on social media, so I would be so ashamed not to stick to it. Once I said it and everyone saw it. The video had maybe 50,000 views. I thought, 50,000 people, I can't let them down. And it can be exactly the same with your weight loss. For example, my mom always says, Marcio, I need to lose 2 or 3 kilos. I tell her, Mom, let's bet. Give me 20,000 and if you don't lose 3 kilos in a month, I'll keep it. You know, and she's like, no. When you have a reason to lose weight, whether it's telling someone or especially if you set some kind of penalty for yourself, it's absolutely perfect. Some people respond better to punishment, others to reward, which can take any form. You can tell yourself that if you lose 5 kilos in 6 months, you'll reward yourself with something. It's important to set how many kilos and in what time frame. You can go on vacation, buy shoes, or do whatever you want. I don't care, as long as it's not 3 kilos of ice cream. No, definitely not. But I don't recommend overdoing it. Anyway, it really helps you a lot. For example, I'm the type who responds better to punishment than to rewards. That means I would punish myself if I didn't accomplish it. For example, with shame or by simply making a promise like this to more people, it really forces me to work on it and you could say live by it, you know? Here's my recommendation. Also, my mom is probably watching. Hi, Mom. So, like, if you really want it, you just have to do something kind of crazy like that. If done right, it will work well. You can find a friend, male or female, to join you and support each other while keeping each other accountable. Great strategy, I recommend including it. Point 4 is a specific tip that really helped me. It doesn't mean it's for everyone, okay please, but I've noticed one thing, and that's that I eat a lot when I don't sleep well. When I don't sleep much, I feel hungry and tired during the day, and I use food to distract myself from the tiredness. It's the same for me with stress. When I'm really stressed and in a bad mood, I also try to cover it up with food, and it's the same with tiredness. But tiredness is something you can really control with just one thing, and that's of course sleep. We all know that. Everyone talks about how important sleep is, but very few people really understand just how important it actually is. And if there's one thing about self-development and all that where I've really changed my mind, it's that I won't trade anything for a good night's sleep, and I won't cut my sleep short because of it. This means advice like wake up at 5 a.m. to be more productive. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning. The first thing I did was go to the pool at -8 degrees at 5 in the morning. I didn't get more done that day since I was tired and still needed a nap after lunch. When I got home from school, I was exhausted, making it even harder to get back into things. I recommend sleeping as long as possible, ideally waking up without an alarm clock. Of course, now I wake up without an alarm clock. Today I woke up at 7:30, which is a perfectly fine time for me, it just suits me. I'm totally well rested, I have excellent recovery, and I could just break trees, or anything, like I could go run marathons. No, not really. But I have great energy, and that's actually why I enjoy life so much, and it helps me with losing weight, and that's the point connected to it. I started practicing one thing, intermittent fasting. That means I moved my first meal of the day as late as possible. Because I'm used to having caffeine on an empty stomach every morning, whether it's in the form of coffee or matcha, and I have to admit, I drink a Monster energy drink. Yeah, it's an unhealthy habit, but it helps me with losing weight. Because look, I have it at 8 or 9 in the morning, and my first meal is maybe at 10:30. Today, I had my first meal at 11, so it really pushes my first meal much later. I don't focus on breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I care more about pre- and post-workout meals, and maybe dinner. And then maybe one more smaller meal. So let's say I have 4 meals a day, but by pushing the first one later, I can afford to have way more calories for dinner. And I really like that because it feels like I'm rewarding myself for the whole day, for what I've done, and for the work I've put in. And this is really a strategy I would recommend to everyone who doesn't mind being on an empty stomach in the morning, and believe me, you'll get used to it very quickly. For example, all of us guys at school ended up using this, and it just worked well for us. I think everyone who has ever tried to lose weight and tried these strategies will agree that if you get used to it and your stomach gets prepared for it, your body doesn't even want the food anymore. I wasn't hungry at all this morning, and I'm actually really glad about that. In my opinion, one of the biggest lies in this area is that breakfast is essential and breakfast is the best. I really disagree with that, and here's why. When I eat a lot, especially big meals like hotel breakfasts, I'm useless. You probably know what I mean. Like in the mountains. When I eat a lot, for an hour I can't think at all. I don't feel like doing anything. But when I skip the meal, I'm sharp. When I just have caffeine, my mind really works. I can do the best tasks of the day. And then maybe I eat as a reward, and you feel different. And believe me, when you make good decisions in the morning, accomplish a task you set for yourself, go for a walk in the morning, and so on. We'll get to that, so your first meal won't be unhealthy. You won't crave unhealthy food. You'll want to eat healthy and do things right. And that really suits me. So now during the day I try to eat as healthy as possible, and in the evening I give myself a reward, something less healthy, but it still fits within my calorie limit, and that's the key. Try intermittent fasting, morning caffeine on an empty stomach, and delaying your first meal. I highly recommend it. And please, don't take this as if you should be skipping meals. No, that's completely unrelated. It's not like overeating one day and deciding not to eat the next because of it. That's a disaster, we know how that ends. Then you'll just overeat again and eat even more, and you'll feel even worse. We all know it. Try it again if you want. I've done it in my life well over 100 times. I still experience this. While filming, I might eat a small amount, then eat again at 4, but I still overeat later that night or the next day. Because your body and brain need energy from food, that's clear, but if you get used to delaying your first meal, you can really help yourself. I always say if I had someone obese, I'd have them walk. Walk instead of driving when deciding how to get somewhere. You'll burn calories and feel better, since walking is one of the healthiest, most natural movements. Oh my god, this is exactly what should be taught in schools. The benefits of this basic movement. Walking, how many calories you can burn? You walk 10,000 steps a day, which isn't even my minimum, but my average is around 13,000 steps a day, let's say. That means 10,000 steps a day, you have 600 active calories. It depends on how big you are, how old you are, what your body mass index is, and so on. Simply choosing to walk helps you burn more calories. That's why I praise walking so much. Sure, I can tell someone to go run intensely to do intervals. Will you burn more calories that way? Yes, in the same amount of time. You can jump, do squats, and so on. If you overtrain, you'll get very hungry. When I do 2 hard workouts a day, I have to compensate with more calories. And it makes you eat more, you have a bigger appetite and so on, whereas walking is so easy that you don't come back from a walk thinking, oh my god, I really need to eat. Here's the key difference. That's why I strongly recommend everyone find 30 minutes to an hour each day for a walk. It clears your mind, makes you happier, and helps you lose weight. There's no reason not to try it, even if it's really cold outside. But then you can just buy a treadmill for home. I really don't care, but if you want to, you'll always find the time and space to walk, and it's honestly the best thing. And then my second note about this point is, choose cardio you enjoy. Don't force yourself to run if you dislike it. If you have strong discipline and have endured a lot of pain from something terrible in your life, then okay. But that's a really small percentage of people. Why not find the kind of cardio you actually enjoy? I don't know about you, but when I'm running on a treadmill, I can run pretty solid times, but it's not fun at all. It takes me about half an hour to start feeling comfortable, even when I just stare at one spot. When I play soccer and see the ball, I could chase it all day. I burn more calories and keep my heart rate up, which I can't do running because I enjoy it. Find your own sport, whether it's swimming, cycling, badminton, paddle, whatever. It doesn't matter at all. It's completely up to you. It's about what you enjoy. Do it with someone you enjoy. You'll have fun, laugh, and get a little exercise. For example, my girlfriend took me to trampolines. I wouldn't have gone alone, but thought, why not? And I say to myself, yeah, great, I enjoy it. They play music there, it looks funny, why not? Because you'll burn those calories for sure. First, walk more. Second, choose a cardio activity you enjoy and will stick with. By having that much movement, you'll be able to eat even more food. And for me, that's the key to happy and sustainable eating in the long run, because it's really hard to stick to a diet of 1500 calories. For me, it was always unrealistic. I've always loved food and always will. Unless I take Ozempic, I can't limit myself to just 1500 calories a day. My basal metabolic rate is high because I am 188 cm tall and weigh 88 kilos. With lots of movement, I can eat 2500 calories a day. I lose weight quite noticeably on 2500 calories a day, and it's fine, it's sustainable. You can calculate your basal metabolism using a chart, then track your movement with a watch. I use Whoop, which is quite accurate. I'll link it in the description so you can try it free for a month. But it's not absolutely necessary. If you average it out somehow, you'll get to that number. And if you consistently stay 300 calories below that number over time, you'll simply lose weight. Point number 7. What gets rewarded will be repeated. Man, that's the beautiful thing about our mind. You can program it however you want. Of course, it's a kind of habit, but at one point I just realized in my mind that food is fuel for me. It's like gasoline, it's what I'll use to perform well, it's what will make me feel good. Once you realize this, you won't want unhealthy foods. In the same way, as I realized the benefits of good foods, when I have eggs or rice with protein, I just feel really good. Some fruit like a banana, apple, blueberries, those superfoods, avocado with eggs, you know. Sometimes I even post on Instagram stories about how good I feel, and on the other hand, when I eat something bad like fried cheese, burgers, fast food, I really think, I'm not doing anything good for my body here. Sometimes you just need to relax. When you're out with friends or family and they say, try this dessert, it's fine. You can, but in those moments, be aware that you have a choice between healthy and unhealthy. If you choose the unhealthy option, you're hurting your body. That's the reality. You might want it more, like you choose that pleasure in the moment, but then you'll regret it afterwards. I'm always aware of it. I know it. When I eat chocolate, I realize that I'll regret it later. Sometimes it just overwhelms me and I tell myself, I want it so much that I'll just have it. Absolutely. However, I still make sure to reward and praise myself whenever I manage to eat healthy for a day. Try it for a day and see how you feel at bedtime. Will you feel happy? I guarantee you will. And what gets rewarded will be repeated. If you give your mind enough incentives by being glad that you're eating healthy and supporting your performance, you'll notice your progress each day. You might wake up 200 grams lighter, see some abs or a new vein, the usual signs. When I saw it for the first time, I thought, wow, it's so motivating to keep going. And even if you mess up someday, you'll find your way back again. I hope this video was valuable. If so, please share it with someone who would benefit from it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can check out one of the 2 videos you see on the screen right now. Take care and keep grinding.